Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
That's a huge bitch.
I wish my fucking foot would go right through your skull. How dare you!
Well, welcome to this very special edition of Alexa Stop. It's not called Alexa Stop. It's called Gabbing and Games. What's up, fellas? This is a show. Today, we're not really talking about the news. I am going to ask a couple of news questions. I'm curious about something. But today, I've been doing... Most of the consulting work I do is with a company called Movie Games. I'll be playing one of their games on stream this weekend or tomorrow, depending. But I did a little bit of work with a company called Meddling Kids for a game they have called TRICKSHOT. And it's very, very early, as you can see at the top of the screen. It's 2 to 3 person team. Most of the art you're going to see is sort of kit bashed together. It's taken from asset stores. The animations are placeholder. Really, right now, they're trying to figure out, do we have something? I think they do. Do they have a proof of concept that is compelling? Either for them to finish with their own money or for them to team up with the publisher or an investor or whatnot. So, you know, I'm going to play a little bit of it. Here's how it's going to go. We're going to talk a little bit right now first. Delete my archives. I don't know what that means. We're gonna talk a little bit first, just catch up, and then I'm going to play about 3 or 4 rounds, give you an idea of what the game is. Oh, increase the mic volume? Okay, hang on. What do you mean there's nothing on top of the screen? Hang on. There should be. Yeah, what do you mean? You don't see the thing at the top? The ticker at the top of the screen? Tell me how the volume is. Is that better? But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to play a little bit. We'll talk about what the game is, and then I'm going to go through the notes because I need to get these guys a bunch of notes from the latest build anyway. So we'll do all that together, and anything you guys want to ask or talk about regarding the game or really whatever, I'm here for you, baby. Listen. Travis has been a member for 16 months. He knows I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. He says, Jaffe, how are you doing today? He says, I'm not the greatest. My boss is doing the double standard thing. I went on a vacation. Everybody else gets it. I am doing pretty good today. Thanks for asking. I'm sorry your boss is being a prick. This is the same guy that was sort of a sexual harasser of the girl you like, right? Sounds like a nightmare. Sounds like when you can, and I understand not everybody has the ability to just pop up and go get another job, but hopefully you're out there looking, because it sounds like he is not, like, on the consistency, he is not a really, it's a good dude. So, but I appreciate you being a member, buddy. Thank you so much for all your support. That's the only thing I'm eating today is Jolly Rancher. Don't fuck with me. That's it. That's all I'm eating. But I just need a little pop. A little pop. Let me ask you guys a question. So, oh my God, that cocaine is rough. We'll talk about the Titanic sub briefly in a moment. I saw, Dustin from IGN tweeting a bunch of quotes from the FTC thing today. Was that live streamed? How was he getting that? And then I saw somebody else in the stream talking about, the Microsoft versus the FTC was good today. Where are you just reading somebody's live blog? How are you getting that data, those quotes? I would love to know that. Titanic, yeah. I mean, look, to be honest, short of some kind of weird miracle, that was the best thing that could have happened to those people on the sub. Short of them being found and survived, the fact that they said it kind of hit the bottom of the ocean and imploded almost instantly, that's great. That means they didn't suffer. That means they didn't even know what they were getting into. They probably just kind of thought maybe they lost power and the thing was kind of settling on the bottom and it probably hit something and then it, I'm making shit up, I don't know, but I assume it imploded because there was the pressure outside somehow found a way to get in, like a hole or something. It came loose and instant. Just fucking instant. But yeah, I don't know. But the FTC thing was zoomed live. Oh my God. I would have loved to have seen that. I would have streamed that shit and talked about it. Let me ask you this. I'm so almost done eating. I know it's annoying. What was the takeaway? When you walked away from watching it, was it like, oh my God, Microsoft's fucked? Or did they do pretty good? Because this wasn't, it was the FTC and Microsoft standing in front of a judge, right? It wasn't like the FTC, I think, were talking to them. They were trying to get the, I'm done eating. Just gotta swallow it. I'll swallow it. One Winged Angel, what flavor Jolly Rancher dish is? Apple. Sour apple. Isn't it gross? Okay. DevKit says it was probably a bolt came loose. I don't know why everybody's up in arms about the Game Pass price. First off, price increase. So Alex says, Jaffe, is it worth it to you? So I don't really fully understand it. My understanding as of yesterday was it wasn't all over the world. It was just in a couple of places, and it wasn't going to hit America and the UK. And then somebody said that, no, it's everywhere. But it's only $2. I mean, I don't really, it's a great value to me. I love Game Pass. And certainly with something like Starfield coming out pretty soon, I'm totally down for it. So, of course, I mean, all these things, every price goes up for the most part. Pete Hines was blatantly lying. Christopher Gorley, what did he say? You would rather die slowly, Cube, from carbon dioxide poisoning? Oh, I wouldn't. Because the fear is, you're dying. This was like, they all the drama that we've put on them, all the terror and the fear, and oh my God, what that must be like to be in the darkness, and people are shitting themselves, and they know they're going to die. None of that happened to them, it sounds like. It sounds like they were sailing up, they were dead. Right? I mean, it wasn't even like being in a plane crash where it's coming. It was literally just like, hey, that's it. It's like you ever hear these awful stories of people who get sniped. Remember a while ago, this was probably 20 years ago now, there was a guy, ex-sniper, and I guess a kid he was mentoring, drilled a hole in the back of a car. And they hung out in the trunk together with a sniper rifle, and they just killed people all over, it was some Midwest place, I think. No one could find them forever because they weren't really sure, how they were doing it or who they were. I think they got ultimately pulled over for like a taillight, and then they discovered it was them. But, you get sniped, and it's probably just like you don't even know you died. It's just either lights out or you're, transcending and having a bunch of fucking, DMT being secreted by the, is it the pituitary, the pineal gland? I don't know, some fucking gland. I don't fucking know. The Beltway snipers, exactly right. Okay, so Christopher Gorley says he's paraphrasing Microsoft, but they couldn't release Starfield this soon if they had to support another platform. Crash Bandicoot on Game Pass would sell on Game Pass like crazy in Call of Duty. The last Crash was great. Crash Bash, I'm curious because it just came out this week. I bought the early edition. I played it for like 40 minutes and I liked it, but I wouldn't buy it. It seemed very shallow. I'm curious if it's going to have a chance in hell. But yeah, so it sounds like somebody's saying it sounds like that they're getting the green light from this. It sounds like it did pretty fucking well. For Shizzle says games don't sell on Game Pass. I don't think he means sell. I think he means like get a lot of players. Blades and Watches says, Jaffe, what do you think could happen within the Xbox division if Starfield doesn't meet expectations? Not Crash Bash, Crash Team Rumble or whatever. I guess, well, if it doesn't meet financial expectations and really drive Game Pass and get more people subbing and staying subbed, I think, honestly, if the game is great, but it doesn't move the needle, then yeah, I think it's going to be a real problem. I think it's going to be because imagine if the game comes out and the game is a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 game of the year contender, and a lot of people are playing it, but you don't see any kind of ripple effect on the subservice of Game Pass, then it's not just the fact that Starfield might be broken, it's the fact that their whole business model isn't really working. Because if Starfield comes out and it is this great thing, that's what I've been saying. It's like people say, I fucking hate subscription services. Game Pass is great. Game Pass is shit. I've been like, look, dude, Game Pass is great as a consumer. But whether or not, you can't really judge it yet because they haven't really put out anything that really fulfills the vision. Starfield is the first thing, if it actually is as good as it looks, that's going to start fulfilling the vision. And if that comes along and it doesn't move the needle, yeah, they're fucked, man. They're totally fucked. They'll probably get out of games entirely, or as Ricardo has said in the past, probably start making deals with Sony and Nintendo to put Game Pass on the goddamn cockadoodie other consoles. Bukaki says, who cares about this? Those submarine people are dead. You know what's weird about that story? We're going to get into the games in a second, I promise. You know what's weird about that story is, okay, you had 5, it's weird that people care about it so much. You have all of these people dying every day, not of their own recklessness. You're pulled over by a cop, you get shot for no fucking reason, or you're just some fucking teenager running around in Ukraine and you get bombed by Putin and life's over, right? That's the tragedy. These are a bunch of privileged, wealthy as fuck dudes. Not that it matters if they're white or black, but they're pretty fucking privileged because they're rich, they're male, they're white. Most of them, other than the kid, which is really the sad thing, were old. Not old, but they'd lived life, and they went out doing something they loved, and everyone's like, oh my God. I'm like, if you really want to be fucking freaked out, why does it matter if they're rich? It doesn't matter if they're rich, Matt. It matters that they're rich because they bought their own ticket, right? That they had the money to spend $250,000. Clearly, their lives, from a monetary and material standpoint, had been pretty, at least for quite some time, relatively smooth sailing. And so what I'm saying is, what is it we're mourning? People die all the time, and nobody seems to really talk about it or care. This suddenly matters. That's curious to me. But I'll tell you something else. I mean, if you really want to, people are like, yes, but it's the way people died. And I'm like, okay, I get that too. But I mean, seriously, think about this. This is the terrifying thought, right? The terrifying thought is, you're one of those parents that have a small child go missing, and years go by and they never find a body. And so in your mind, are you like going, holy shit, man, is my child like, trapped in a coffin they have to sleep in every night, and they're just, or they've been sold into the sex slave trade in Mexico, and they're, that's the kind of shit that I hear and I go, oh my God, that is insanely tragic and hard to imagine that there are people out there right now that that's happening to. A lot of them. That's where I'm like, that's the horror. These people had pretty easygoing lives, had a lot of money, so they didn't struggle for material goods. They went out doing something they were clearly excited by and passionate about. I don't think it's funny that they died. I'm not laughing that they died. I think it's really sad, but I'm actually was quite relieved to hear they died by the sub touching the bottom of the ocean. Sounds like, and they instantly died. It makes it a lot more palpable. You can imagine it being pretty fucking instant, and they didn't even know what happened. Bookster says, I think the fact these people are rich is the only reason people care. I think that they're rich and they're white. Just like how many times have we seen countries being bombed in America and they're people of color? But the minute we watch Ukraine, where all the people pretty much look like us in America, it's like, whoa, this is bad. And maybe it's just because, a lot of white people, they can see themselves in that, and that's just a natural response to things. You can recognize yourself in something, you become more sympathetic, possibly. Manny Dynamite, hey baby, what's up? Hang on. Yeah, I'll pause. Hang on. The ketamine. Manny Dynamite says the ketamine helped my depression. Jaffe, great. That's fantastic. I swear by it. I've never used it, but I have people in my family that have, and it has absolutely made a big difference to their day-to-day. So I'm glad it's working for you as well. I think there's a lot of stuff that the Nixon administration pushed into the illegal world that they never should have, and I think we're going to be seeing some serious breakthroughs in mental illness over the next decade because people are coming around to stuff like ketamine and DMT and ayahuasca and whatnot. Okay, last thing I'll tell you before we get into the game is Final Fantasy. So I finally sat down and finished Lies of P, and I started Final Fantasy demo last night, and I like it. I mean, I knew that I was going to have to deal with some cutscenes, but to be perfectly fair, the cutscenes, they weren't, Death Stranding level of quality, but they were pretty good. They were pretty good cutscenes. I was into the story. I liked that I could press whatever that bar is, the touchpad bar, and bring up, the story, and okay, I see what this is, and I see how this person relates to this person and all that. That was pretty cool. Here's where I got in the game, and I haven't finished it yet. I got to the swamps where I'm fighting that huge boss that looks like the Little Shop of Horrors character. So I don't know how close that is to the demo. I don't know if that's close to the end, or that's Jaffe, you haven't even fucking started it. I have no idea. I can tell you, though, to that point, and I almost killed him last night, then I died, and I was tired to go to bed. At that point, I was like, okay, this is pretty good. It's not, I wasn't insanely blown away by it. I think it feels like a 7 out of 10 so far, at least up to that point. The combat's fun, it's fluid, the character motion's a little weird, the way he moves through the environment and hits invisible walls and shit like that. The story so far is pretty generic, and it's well done, it's well presented, the cutscenes are nice, and the action is nice, but I don't really understand, I don't think the story is anything to write home about. So I don't know, for me, let me ask you guys this, people who are playing it now, because the demo is basically just the first part of the game. When you get to that swamp creature, is that is everything I've played up until that point relatively indicative of the entire game? Or does the game change a lot from that swamp creature to the end of the demo or whatever? Because if what I've played so far is a reflection of what the game is, I would say that it's good. I like it. But I'm not like, oh my fucking God, it's amazing. You played for an hour today, Ghetto God, but my kids won't allow me in the house. Why? What'd you do? What'd you do? It's like JRPG style Game of Thrones had a baby. It's fantastic, says One Wing Angel. Okay. The demo is a reflection of the game, and it's absolutely amazing. Okay, well, I don't agree with that then. If what am I close to the end of the demo? Or is it like, no, you're just getting started, so you have a lot more things to see? Morgan says worlds open up further, you interact with towns, you have massive kaiju battles. That's cool. Yeah, okay, well, I mean, you know, your mileage will vary like on any game. All right, let's move forward. I want to talk to you about this game I'm working on. This is a game called TRICKSHOT, okay? So one of the guys who's leading this endeavor was one of our members and part of our community, and he says, hey, are you interested in, you know, doing some consulting? And I'm like, yeah, I have a little bit of time. And he's like, all right, well, here's the build. It's called TRICKSHOT, blah, blah, blah. And basically what it is Tony Hawk meets Quake, in essence. I mean, it's not as deep as either one, but because it kind of, A, it's early, and B, because it's, you know, splitting the genres. But I think it's a great deal of fun. I'm going to basically play it for about 3 or 4 or 5 matches. Right now it's all AI. You can go online, and Spaz, I saw that you were asking, can you join? This version is not available yet. The one that's on the internet right now is a very old version of the game where you're kind of vying for points and stuff like that. This is now it's become more, you know, the max kills, at least for the default mode, and there's a team deathmatch mode. But we will be playing it live this weekend, and hopefully I can get Spaz and I can get those aren't my show notes. Those are my notes for when I'm doing consulting work. I have Notepad set up on the right, so I can make notes about, you know, hey, to the team, this is what I think you guys should look at. So I mean, this is a working call, right? I'm actually going to be adding notes to that while we play. I'm going to be seeing if there's any notes that you guys have that I didn't pick up on just by watching. But let me get the super chat real quick. And then somebody said Game of the Year. I mean, Game of the Year? Fuck yeah. I mean, I think there's, you know, Tears of the Kingdom is amazing. Resident Evil 4 is amazing. Dead Space Remake is amazing. Hell, the fucking Mario Wonder looks great just from what we've seen. There's a lot of great games out this year, and I'm gonna finish the demo, the Final Fantasy demo. I don't hate it. I just, so far, I'm not quite getting the big deal. But you know, maybe you have to be a fan of the series beyond just casual fan like I am. Travis, thank you for that very, very big super chat. Very genuinely kind and supportive, buddy. Thank you. He says, look. I legitimately don't care what anybody thinks about me anymore. I appreciate you being honest about everything that happens in the country and the world. I'm only 30. I wish the universe was different. My boss is a lady, but thank you. Well, she can still be a fucking misogynist piece of shit. There's a lot of women that have internalized misogyny. You know, but I don't, you know, that's a good place to be. I mean, there's a very fine line where you get to a point where you don't care what others think, but you don't not wish people thought well about you. Like, I'd love to be super popular. I would love everybody on the internet to love me. I would love to not be so divisive. But none of that comes close to the joy I get from simply being myself. So, you know, I'm with you. I hear you. Just, you got to find that balance, because pure apathy gets you a little in trouble if you don't give a fuck. That leads to, you know, maybe a diagnosis of depression. But a lot of it, though, yeah, fuck it, Travis. I agree. Get the fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. Do what you want to do. Okay. Oh, is the Need for Speed Unbound already out? That was today. All right, let's begin. Isn't it misandry when we talk about women? No, there's internalized misogyny. Bye, Morgan. Morgan, don't. Anyone who says that is being. Anybody who says what? Okay, here we go. Let me go to the very beginning. Let me show you what this thing is here. So there is a tutorial. I'm going to ignore the chat for a little bit as I just talk you through what this is. So again, at the top of the screen, you see what it says, the art style, the characters, the animations. Most of this stuff has been pulled from resources like on asset stores. So this is more a proof of concept of, is this fun? Is it compelling? Are there people who want to play it? So you come into the game, you have this hub, which I won't spend too much time in. I just want to kind of tell you the basics of what it is. You can skateboard, hoverboard, or you can get roller skates, and you come in after you do a tutorial. You just come in here and fuck around, get your match together, things like that. So here's kind of the high concept, right? You have a dude who's got a gun or got various pickups that he can pick up in the environment, right? You can hold 2 weapons at a time, and your ammo is restocked whenever you basically do any kind of trick with the trick button. So any trick you do will get you a little bit of ammo. The higher you're off the ground, the longer you do something, the more ammo you can fill up. Ideally, eventually, if you see those things at the bottom, damage, shield, fire rate, and radar, those are this particular characters. I don't know if they're going to end up saying they're individual characters that have different loadouts, or if the player is going to be able to sort of roll their own perk system down at the bottom. That would be my preference, but that really hasn't been put in yet. And so as you do the tricks, you get these bonuses, and the better the trick is and the longer you run the trick, you'll get a better version of that bonus, and sometimes you'll get the bonus that does some different things as well, right? And you can parkour. If you parkour, that's how you get health. Also, if you grind, that's how you get health. You get a little bit of health from just sort of normal grinding, but if you go into the sort of the harder mini game and it gets harder and harder, if you don't wipe out, you get more health, right? And that's kind of the high concept. There's 3 levels right now. These guys are pushing towards getting the game ready for the next Steam Next Fest, which I think is September or October. So they were going to be out in this week's, but they were like, you know what, let's spend more time, let's get it a lot more fun, and let's let the world play it in a couple of months. So, well, it's PvE right now because I'm fighting against AI, but it's going to be primarily, it sounds like a multiplayer game. Yes, can you shoot while grinding? Sure. So you can be grinding here, and it actually kind of slows down, and you can reverse the grind a little bit. I don't remember that. You also can dodge in air or on the ground. There is a way to do, as I remember, there is a way to do a reverse grind to shoot behind you, but I don't remember what the button is for that because I don't use it all that often. But there'll be probably different modes in this, that, and the other. But right now they're really focusing on just getting the core game going. But but what you'll see me play right now is PvP. When I stream it again this weekend with Spaz and Brett and some other people in the chat, it'll be PvP, not PvE, which is what it is now. Is it similar to Rollerdrome? Kind of. It's kind of what Rollerdrome was. A lot of people wanted it to be with its Rollerdrome multiplayer. So it's really, like I said, the best way to describe it is like Tony Hawk meets Quake is how they've been describing it. I think the best level right now is Stadium, but I'm gonna show you guys Sky Noir because it's just kind of pretty and stuff. I'm gonna set the bots to normal. I'm not very good at this game, but I really like it. It's really fun. Like, you know, the interface here is really, you know, needs little. It's kind of confusing, but let me show you. This will be a match, okay? And even the voiceover. Some of the voiceover has been recorded for this game. A lot of it's just pulled from the the Unreal Engine. So like you'll hear a bunch of like comments that are super cheesy, which I don't think the team is like, yeah, we love that. We think that's funny. They're just kind of placeholder, right? All right, let me know if the game is too loud for you guys and if the mix is good. I hear you, Joe. Joe says, first comment, if Jaffe makes this a game night game, it has to be incredibly easy to start multiplayer. Oh, I agree. Okay, so at the beginning of the match, you can just kind of warm up. So this is the rooftops to give you an idea what some of the levels are. I hope they can find a way to guarantee this doesn't come up for beginner players because, you know, this is one of those things where you fall and you don't fall to your death at first. You can kind of bounce back and stuff, but for a new player who's never played this game or even, you know, relatively early, it's still, you fall a lot more than you should. Okay, so you've got those pickups. You've got these that are power-ups, right? So the power-ups do different things. They're just sort of a separate thing. They might end up having bonus elements as well. And like I said, this is basically deathmatch. So let's just start it and see where we go. See, he'll bounce up once, but if he goes over again, he'll die, which I don't like. I think that's frustrating because it's really not your fault when you go over a lot of times. It's the game moves so fast. So anyway, here we go. Oh, the grind rail. Yeah, none of it's tuned right now. It's the grind rails might be a little bit too easy. All right, I'm gonna not talk to the chat first. I'm gonna focus. But I'll tell you, like for example, one of the things I hope they change before Summer Game Fest is the weapon pickups. Visuals don't really necessarily look like what they are. So like you can pick up a flamethrower, but it looks absolutely nothing like a flamethrower. So a lot of times you're just like, I don't know what that is I just grabbed. Okay, so I've got a machine gun. I don't know what that is. That's like an energy pulse thing. I don't like that. I think that's a shotgun. Okay, so I want to get more ammo and I want it to do more damage. And you only have so much time. And I think that needs to be tweaked as well. Here we go. All right. And you also have radar, which I like. I want the radar to do a little bit more, but like right now I'm doing a trick to turn on the radar. And the better your trick, the better your radar. So now I can see where everybody is. And now I'm going to do a trick to give me more damage on my weapon. Let's see. And he killed me, yeah. How long has this been in development? Oh my god, I don't know. A while. All right, let's see. And then let's see, I picked up a shockwave power-up, so... Oh, see, that's a flamethrower. It doesn't look at all like a flamethrower. So you're like, what? I had no idea it was going to do that. And the frame rate is not as bad as it looks. I know that sounds stupid to say that, but it seems like there's a memory leak in the game they're looking at right now, trying to figure out... Okay, there's a shockwave. I just did. That was one of my pickups. Can also hit these pads to get more air. Okay, so grinding gives you health. Pickups also give you health if you find them. Okay, oh, come on. All right, I guess we're not going that way. All right, let me see. But yeah, like I said, I'm not very good at this game. I'm gonna up my damage. And what I like the idea of, though, is being able to sort of roll your own, abilities. Now I'm fucked. I like the idea of saying, okay, for me, for example, I want my forward trick to do damage, but you might be like, I want my forward trick to turn on slight homing. I loved SSX. Yeah, SSX is the shit, man. All right, let's see. And this level's actually big. After this one, I'll show you what I think is the best level. This is a cool looking level conceptually, but it's a little too big, I think. See that? Oh, it drives me nuts. Yeah, falling sucks. You don't always land tricks. I think that's another thing. The tricks at the moment, I think they're being a little too generous with. Like, right now, if you do a trick and you go up... let me do another trick. I was looking at the chat. You go up, and let's say I do this. As long as I let it go, like, you don't actually... I think you need to be a little bit more strict on what causes a successful trick. Like, that should not have been clean. I should have wiped out at that point. But what's been really interesting about this game is you really have to find that sweet spot between, because you're not making a racing game, right? Or you're not making a grind game or a skateboarding game or a shooter. You're making both. And so you can't tune it like Tony Hawk, or you can't tune it like Quake, because half the player's mind is focused on other shit. And if you're wondering why I'm having a hard time killing people, it's because, like, the level's too fucking big. Okay, after this match, I'm going to go into the other level that's... But I love the way this level looks. It's really cool, and there's a lot you can do. So, like, you can parkour, get health. Ah. Yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun. If you're grinding and you fall, does it give you the health? Yeah, the health happens just by nature of grinding. And if you fall afterwards, then, yeah, you're kind of, if it's instant death. And again, you can do this sort of mini game if you find a long, but if you wipe out, you're kind of fucked and you lose it. God damn it! See that? Yeah, it's not good. I hate that. I fucking hate it.
Rejected.
They originally were looking at doing PvE, and they may eventually do PvE. I love this power up. You can just, like, get 3 hops, and you can just get in the air and go crazy. Oh, missed the button. Okay, I'm going to go to a level that I actually can find enemies in after this. But, yeah, they were actually doing Frost. They were doing a PvE option. But, what's weird about PvE is that genre right now is so just competitive that you really are making almost a full-on single-player game. Even though it doesn't have to be single player, but in terms of content and variety, if you look at something like Hive Busters, which is PvE, oh, no, I want to go to a different level, hang on. That fucking thing is it's only like 6 hours, but that's a full service fucking story-based game with cinematics and all kinds of shit. So I think, and I also think when you look, I could be wrong, but I think when you look at a game like this, I think you want to play multiplayer. It doesn't mean you don't want to have any single player. But is this a PS3 game? Fuck you, motherfucker. Yeah, it's a PS3 game, you idiot. I don't like falling in holes. I die by holes more than anything else, as Bookster. I agree. I mean, we've always had a rooftop level in the Twisted Metal games. And, I like them conceptually, and sometimes I even like them gameplay-wise, but you really are asking the player to balance so much shit, and a lot of times when you fall off at this speed, and I'm like, dude, I'm trying to aim, and I'm aiming down sights, and why am I falling? It's super, it's not fun. Sometimes it is, but, okay, I'm going to concentrate, because it does take some brain power to, okay, I'm going to up my frame rate, oh, no, my frame rate, my fire rate. Yeah, you do a trick to up your frame rate. Could be interesting. Okay, hang on.
Goodbye now.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know I had a flamethrower. Again, this game is very, very early. But this is kind of the process. If you were ever curious, I mean, you just iterate like a motherfucker until you kind of run out, until you run out of time. Why isn't Twisted Metal on the PS Plus? I don't know. I mean, I have nothing to do with any of that stuff, so I don't like that it's not on the PS Plus. It's kind of frustrating, but I couldn't tell you. Come on. All right, Jaffe, focus. No, I wanted that, you fucker. Okay, let's get a radar. There is a fast 180, but I don't like to do it because it makes my computer chug. Could you use the same gun model with different colors? No, I mean, you could, but there's no need to. Again, this is not, that's how early the game is. It's not like the guys aren't, or the people aren't capable of making the different weapons. They're just like, hey, grab that, use that. Like, that's how, you know, that's, like I said, it's more of a proof of concept right now of, is it fun and is there potential here? Like, I think the radar, I think the bonus on the radar, for example, should be, if you do like a full radar or a full trick for it, I really want those kind of arrows to appear. So even if I'm not looking in the direction of the guy, I can tell there's someone behind me, kind of like that rotates around the character. That's one of my biggest things is right now I think some of the HUD elements are a little bit out of your eye view. And I think that the game suffers from that because you have to look away. All right, let's see. I'm going to focus. I really am. I'm not going to look at you guys. I'm a terrible streamer and gamer. I like to talk too much, and then I'm not going to talk to you guys anymore for the next couple matches. I just have to focus so I can actually show you what the game is. I'm terrible at it, but I can better than this. Motherfucker. This game won't make Game of the Year contender. Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? No, I don't agree. This is kind of one of the things, Bookster, we've been talking about. Like, some people who have seen this are like, oh, it's a high barrier of skill. I think if you're going into the shooter market, you can't make it, you know, I'm not saying you want to make it super fucking hard. It's easy to play, it's fun to play, but yeah, I mean, and it's not balanced yet, but if you don't give it enough depth and interesting things to do, and places to sort of learn to grow, you're fucking dead. So you got to find that balance. But if you were to pick it up, and hopefully you'll play it when it's out at Summer Game Fest, you'll see it's really fun. It's really easy to pick up and play, but it's not easy to win. It's pretty fucking tough to win. Okay, I'm about to die, so I gotta pay attention. Yeah, it's a good point, Frost. It can be tricky when you use marketplace assets because it makes the game look more complete than it is. Okay, I cannot talk to you guys. Okay, I'm gonna go for. See, I love that decision making of like now I want to go for fire rate. Okay, did I land that one? I don't know. I think the reticle's too hard to see. I think the enemies are still too hard to see at this speed. Well, all games can't be Game of the Year, and all games don't need to be Game of the Year. I mean, it's like this is trying to achieve, I think, something much different than that. Okay, I've upped my fire rate. God damn it! See, even that, you know. Okay, I'm gonna. This next match, I will not speak to you. I promise. I ain't saying a goddamn word. How do I join the members-only Discord? I can help you later, but if you go over there and you look in like announcements or something, there's a page that explains it all. Is it easy to play? It looks complicated to play. No, it's not. My brain keeps imagining timely transfer wall portals similar to Splitgate. Adds to the chase downs. Maybe it leads to grinds. Timely... I don't know what a timely transfer wall portal is. I know what Splitgate is, but I don't know what you're talking about. Shut up, Bukaki. But I'll answer your question. I can never tell if Bukaki's serious or not. But he says, if you're not trying to be the best, why try? Because... you are defining Game of the Year as the best, and I don't think that's what necessarily wins Game of the Year. I'm the guy that voted for Angry Birds to get Game of the Year back when that first came out. Was it better than the latest Zelda? No, of course it wasn't. But did it achieve something that it was going for that was really fun and had a bunch of fucking people playing it and really entered the culture? Yeah, it fucking did. So, but if you're talking Game of the Year as it's defined, yeah, no, I'm one of, you know, there are certain criteria for those kinds of games. Hello, Kamikaze. Okay, I'm done. I will not look at the chat. If I look at the chat, tell me to fucking fuck off. I'm gonna play this game now. Alright. Alright, I want fire rate. See, like, I think fire rate is way too... takes way too little time. I am. You okay? Yeah, I can't right now, though. Come on, I got that, you fucker. Alright, come on. Alright, come on, you fuck.
Rain Man.
I'm not looking at the chat.
Goodbye now. Thanks for coming.
Motherfucker.
Boom. Roasted.
Don't look at it. I'm trying not to. It's addictive. All right, come on. I know it's a shotgun.
Turn out
Damn
the
it.
lights. The
Oh, it's
party's
buffering?
over.
Yeah, it'll happen.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Motherfucker.
Just a bit outside.
All right, come on now.
It's about the thrill of victory,
Motherfucker.
the agony of defeat.
The player goes into it, transfers to another part. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, cool. I'm playing with the controller. I'm playing with the dual sense. I'm going to play this level one more time, then I'm going to switch to the next level, show you guys into the level. And then I'll show you guys the notes that I have and just give you an idea of the kind of stuff that I think it needs. Yeah, someone's like, oh, you need music and all this stuff. It's super early. I mean, there's all of this. It's so much placeholder. It's more about going, can the team get the game to a point in October that people sit down and play it and go, holy fuck, that's really fun. It's early, but it's really fun. So this is a super fucking early experience. All right.
Get him some butter, because he's on a roll.
Oh, that guy put a fucking turret up there. Right, see, now that I'm paying attention, I need health. Alright. Now I want... Oh, they have a shield, fucker.
Goodbye now.
Fuck.
Thanks for coming.
This build's about 4 days old, I think.
Ooh, it hurts being this good. Rejected.
Yeah, see that frame rate's starting to chug. That's not the game. I mean, it's the game, but it's not. There's a leak, so I got to reboot it in a second. I'm in 5th place. Fuck this shit. Man, look at that frame rate. That's bad. God damn it, man.
Boom. Roasted.
I squeezed the controller way too much. I always do the pullback instead of the push forward just because it's sort of like instinct, but I never want the shield. I always want the forward. Okay. I am going to... It's not that it's bad because of the level of graphics. There's a memory leak in the game, and so every time you play it successively, it starts to chug and chug and chug. That's what's happening. It's not that it's like it can't handle the. Okay, let me go to the hub. I'm going to kill the game and come right back. I'll still be streaming, of course. Maybe set it up so you can rearrange the abilities. Yeah, I mean, that's the idea. The idea would be that you can not just rearrange where they go, but you can also do, like, ideally there'll be 15 different types, right? And then you can run, you can say, okay, I want this kind of build or this kind of loadout and whatnot. That's sort of the idea. Right, hang on. Okay, let me run it again so it's running at a good frame rate. It is tough though. I remember being, when I was working in the industry, I remember being really frustrated at times because, and it's not anyone's job, you know, to solve it or to understand it. The customer is the customer, you know. But it would always be so frustrating because to me, it's like,
You meddling kids.
I know that this is early and I have the, you know, experience, I guess, of playing things really early and being able to project ahead and know that, okay, that'll get fixed. There'll be music, there'll be that. But sometimes when you come to it fresh and you don't, that would be the problem. Spasbo was the memory leak always there. The one that I sent them today sounded like a new thing. What would give a game like this staying power now? Well, a couple of things. I mean, obviously new content, but beyond that, I mean, that's a really very tough question. Because ultimately, you know, I mean, I don't have an answer for that. I have an answer from a standpoint of, here are things you want to make sure you're set up to do, but I think the answer is probably more fundamental than that. Like, it's not really, it's like you can have all the costumes and unlocks and this, that, and the other, but if the game itself is missing sort of a fundamental stickiness, that none of that is going to help, right? I mean, you can have all the unlocks and season passes in the world, and it doesn't make a goddamn bit of difference. So I think it has to basically be fun to pick up and play. It's got to be, you know, people who aren't very good can still have fun. I think this game does that. It's fun to skate around and shoot. It's a good peanut butter chocolate blend, the shooting and the tricks and the skateboards and stuff. I've not seen a game tie the tricks to the weapons before. I think that's really fun. And then the real question is just, you know, is there a solid, fun shooter there under the hood? That is hard to say. Yeah, well, it's written in the Unreal Engine. I mean, it's not written in it's made in Unreal 5 or 4 or 5. Okay. But I'm not sure what they're writing the code in. It seems like the thing that works is the flow you can get between the trick and the combat. Yeah. Again, I'm going to play it this Saturday. Maybe we'll ask Spaz to stream it if he's able, or Sunday, whenever we set it up. Because he's much better at games in general, and he's much better at this game. So it's one of those things that if you see somebody playing it and they're really good, you're like, oh, that's cool. But I tend to just sort of not be great. See, like that. Oh, damage. I'll take damage. Like that. I don't know why he crashes when he clearly landed it clean. Yeah, I think these levels are just too big, though. There's a lot of looking for people in this game, which is not good. Like, do we really need this whole other side? I mean, maybe. I don't know. But for me, it kind of just, you know, creates distance. Don't get me. It's like that. I mean, I had damage boost, and I gotta get some health. Give me No, 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 no. I wanted that, you fuck.
Get him some butter, because he's on a roll.
Health, motherfucker. The tricks, if you look at the bottom, there's damage, shield, fire rate, and radar. Those feed into that system that allow you to have more ammo and weapons and health and whatever it is that's in those slots that you've put in there. I mean, you can make that based on characters too. Like, this character has these slots. I kind of like it more if the player has the freedom to mix and match, but I don't know which way they're going to end up going with that. Shit. Need some... Oh, gimme, gimme, gimme. Oh, that's not what I thought it was. Give me that. See, I thought I had a shotgun. Clearly not.
That had to hurt.
Are you able to push off the walls? Yeah. I mean, I don't know to what degree, but yeah, you can run off them and get some air off of them.
Goodbye now. Thanks for coming.
You fucker. Alright, let's see. All right. Okay. I think you would damn near conniptions if you had to play the map Rupture in Call of Duty. Okay. You didn't play this demo, Tony's channel. This is very different than what's on Steam. They have hover boots already. I'm gonna play that one more time, and I'll show you guys what's on my list, and you tell me if I'm missing anything. It's fun though. I mean, I really like it. Oh, I forgot.
Former Trick Shot champion Chip the Gavin coming to you live for another exciting match. 3, 2, 1, go! Show me the money!
Motherfucker.
Simmer down now.
Piece of shit. Some fucking ammo.
A bit outside.
Tony's channel, thank you for the super chat. I can't help it. I mean, I can. I'm not going to. Sorry, Tony's channel. Yeah, see, I want to have a higher engagement time with the enemy. Right now it feels like it's really difficult to get into those moments, which is the heart of the game. And I'm assuming part of it's level design, part of it's also just the duration that your bonuses last. They're a little too quick. So by the time you find somebody, you've run out of juice. Did you say fucky? Let's make some fucky.
That had to hurt. Trick shots are 90% mental. The other half is aim.
All right.
This one's done. See you next time. On
Fuck you,
TRICKSHOT.
Bookster. All right, let me. All right, let me get this super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, buddy. And then I'll tell you some of my notes. Lord Gar, thanks, buddy, as always. If you're using someone else's game engine, Unreal, do you have to go back to them, Epic, to fix memory leaks? No, I mean, I guess it really depends. I don't think it's an engine issue. I don't want to speak at a tech level that I know nothing about. I just know that I was talking to the team today, and I sent them a log, and he seemed to look at it and think, oh, I get what's going on. It's something we can, remedy, kind of thing. Used code back in the day, machine code before that. Never used a game engine scripting. Cool. Yeah, I wouldn't know. There currently right now is no difference in between using the skates and the board. Like I said, there's also no difference. Whoops. Right now between the characters either. I'm not sure where that customization is going to come from, in the sense that maybe it comes from letting the player, you know, kind of create his own perk system, or maybe it comes from picking your character, and that stuff's associated with your character. All right, here are my notes. I'm going to make a separate video for the guys, but here's where I'll tell you. So my biggest problem, I mean, there's a real balance problem and a level design problem, but I think that's a good thing from a standpoint to, you can try abilities in the hub world, actually. I think that's a good thing because it means the core of the game is getting to a point where that's functioning now, at least in my opinion. And so now you're dealing more with, I like when it works, but there are too many things getting in the way of having those experiences, like the frequency of doing tricks that run out really fast, but the maps are too big and it's hard to find people still sometimes. And so you either can increase the bonus time, you can shrink the levels, you can make the AI stand out a little bit more. You know, there's various things you could do, but that's where I think it's the biggest flaw is. So I think there needs to be more awareness. It's gotten better, but like those icons down at the bottom, I really wish they could find a way to have those more center screen. I know you can't put it right in the center, but it's really, a game this fast and this focused, it's very distracting to look here and then have to keep looking down and looking down. Oh, how much more time do I have? How much more time do I have? That's really frustrating. And I think that can be alleviated or at least improved by having some of that data more center, or potentially even built onto the character's body. So they do that with the shield a little bit, but again, it's placeholder. I think the tricks are way too easy to pull off right now. I think, all right, Robert, good to see you, buddy. I think you know, I want to come down from a trick, and if I don't land it, I want to fail. Whereas right now, as long as you do one trick, you can land at any angle. As long as you're not holding the trick button, it counts as a win. I know you got to balance it between being too hard, but it just almost feels like once somebody learns that, you can just exploit the fuck out of it. Yeah, I agree. There need to be audio cues for certain things. The weapon pickups don't look like what they are. I think you need to animate the health when you get it from grinding, that it goes down to the bar so you at least know where to look. But again, ideally that wouldn't be there. What does the shield do? I'm not entirely sure how the shield works. If it's more like it is a de-amplifier of damage, or it just is 100% protection until it goes away. There's an aim down sights mechanic, which I don't know if you noticed. This is already being changed. The next build will have this reflected, but if you look at the aim down sights, let's see. Why is that stuff still up there? If you look at the aim down sights, it's interesting, but the problem with it is, like, right now it automatically slows you down to bullet time. And it obviously, I think they're talking about giving the player the ability to slow it down to bullet time if you want, but if not, it just goes normal speed, because you don't always want to be slow when you're aiming down sights, obviously. The damage boost doesn't seem to give very much. All of the weapons don't live by the bonuses, so I might get the rocket launcher and then I'll go do a fire rate increase, and it doesn't seem to make a difference on that particular weapon. There's a weird thing. They're doing bullet time in a multiplayer game, but it's only you. It's not meant to slow everybody down. it's meant to sort of give you an easier aim. And that, I think that's needed at times, but I think you don't want to do it always. And so that system, I think, is going to go in this week, where you can double tap the button to get the bullet time, or you can just hold it once and get the normal aim down sight speed. Lord Garth, I barely see that, but I know you've just done something very, very generous, and I appreciate it. I will chat about it as soon as this match is over. Audio of whenever you get a gun and switch a gun, so you don't need to look, right? So I don't know if you actually want someone to be like, you know, shotgun or something like that. That might be a little too cheeseball, but something where I pick something up and I don't have to, you know, look at it just to know I got it. I think that's necessary. More audio cue when you kill someone. Like, watch what happens when I kill somebody. It's really, not only is it not satisfying, but the sound is so benign. Whoops. It blends into the rest of the soundtrack. It needs to be... All right, Blades and Watches, good to see you, buddy. See you next time, man. It needs to really pop, I think. And same thing with hitting people with the bullets. It doesn't really give you a satisfying sound effect. Let's see.
Roasted.
I want to be able to string some moves together, or at least have the game acknowledge it. So watch this. If I go up and I'm doing the damage, but then I change to another move and I can do it and pull it off, it's like it's like, I don't know. I don't think we have the resources to make a whole new series of tricks, but it almost feels like the last trick you did should be the gift that you get. Like, I'm doing shield, but now I'm doing well, let me see, I'll do damage, and now I'm going to do radar, but it doesn't acknowledge that, right? Let's see, sometimes I land a trick and get the green success. Yeah, that's just a bug. I really want to know what trick I'm doing center screen. Oh, right, I was talking about that. You want to have these these little icons here. I'll look at the chat comments in a second. It's just hard for me to do it while I'm playing. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just... I also wonder if... hang on. Oh, I should be able to do tricks after getting knocked back. That would be cool. Okay, I'm about to die. Oh, you fucker. The bars near the reticle, one of them is ammo, I believe, and one of them is boost.
See you next time on TRICKSHOT.
Okay, let me see. Better radar bonus. Yeah, we talked about that. Before match, select one. We talked about that. The white reticle is really hard to see. That's a minor fix. But it's hard when you're running around and shooting to actually see it. The thing I will say about this, and I am hoping, again, I don't know if Spaz and Brett and some other people are going to play with this weekend, but whoever plays with this, I'm very curious if it's just fun to move around and play and shoot and do tricks and get stuff. Like, just the most basic part, to me, feels a lot of fun, but I've already moved past the point where I can be an unbiased participant. You only get like a couple of hours or days where you can actually judge it like with beginner mind. And so I'm curious when they play this weekend if they're going to have the same level of like, oh, this is just really fun to skate around and be in the world. Or they're like, no, you've just gotten used to it, Jaffe. It's a danger. It happens like this. Kill this other side. There's no need for it.
That's one way to do
All right, let's see. I tell you what, though, man. Hang on. I really did like that Liza P, man. That was a good fucking, demo. Like sign stuff, they already had to get permission ahead to play this. Oh, no, it just, there were a couple criteria, like, you know, did they want to do it? And where they lived, because it's a multiplayer game and it's not currently, I don't believe, currently server authenticated, so it's peer-to-peer at the moment. But if you're interested in playing, I think we could maybe accommodate you this weekend. But I got, you know, hit me up on the Discord. Let me know where you live. Not like where you live, like, so I can, you know, come and light your bed on fire. Shh, I didn't say that out loud. But where you live in terms of region, so I can see if the game is going to be good. Is there any lock on aim assist? I think there's a little with bots. I think that's the other thing, is that, you know, obviously when you're playing a multiplayer game, you're going to have to, you know, remove that entirely or make it a lot, you know, a lot less meaningful. But I don't honestly at this point know where that is tuned for. Okay, I'm in 4th place. This is fucking ridiculous. Fuck these people. Motherfucker. See, like that, I don't know if that person died or not. Now I do, but a lot of times I'll kind of go back to someone and be like, oh, I need to find that person and do the killing blow, and they've already died, so... Oh shit, Jaffe. Hello, Thanatos. Okay. I did not smoke, no. Is there a look sensitivity? There may be. I don't know what you mean, Lutron. The momentum? You mean just in terms of if you hit something and it kind of... part of that's the level design. I mean, in the sense of, like, you know, I think most of the ramps in the game should be, in all the games, should be like that. So you can hit it from any side and keep going, with the exception of a couple of situations. But there's a lot of right angles that stop you dead, and I certainly think that's contributing.
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
Well, I think if you'd rather just be on foot, Awesome Tatum, then the game doesn't work, which is fine if it doesn't work. But I mean, it's not fine, but I think if the game doesn't work for you because it is a mishmash of those two genres, then I would say, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the essence of what it is. Come on, give me some more. Give me somebody to kill.
I say,
Thank you.
in fuego.
I don't know what that means. Speak English. You're in America, damn it. Yeah, I really have no idea what weapon I've got until it's too late. Fuck. Not a crocodile, you all knucklehead. What microtransactions? Oh, Jesus. Are you still consulting? Yeah, I'm consulting on this game with these guys. Okay, let me see. Let me get some of these super chats. Leg Fam, thank you, buddy, for the super chat. He says, "Hi, Jaffe, you're my hero. I just wanted to say thank you for the years of content and happiness you bestowed upon me." Well, that's very kind of you, sir. Thank you, Leg Fam. Very nice, very generous, and that's a very nice thing to say. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like the work that we have done. Our good buddy Lord Garth has been very generous, and he has bestowed upon Bass Digi, PG Urbazo, Design Malice, Adam, Arch Ambalt, and Bukaki Drive-By 5 gift subscriptions. Thank you for that very, very much, buddy. I appreciate it. That is very generous and kind. Thank you. Frost says, bring it out to some local game dev meetups. Yeah, I mean, there's when it's time. I mean, right now, I think the real first big dev meetup is going to be Steam Next Fest, because I think that will be like, okay, it's going to go out to the world and people are either going to love it or hate it or be indifferent to it. And so I think that's a really fun, we never really had anything like that when I was working on games. Like, I mean, none of our stuff was on Steam anyway, but the idea of being able to just have this week where all these games were out for people to try, and you're able to see almost immediately, is your idea compelling? Do people even want to download it and try it? Is it connecting with an audience, or they don't give a fuck? The last map was your favorite? No, my favorite is the other map. This is my second favorite. I conceptually love the rooftop level, but I don't think it's it is a good map, but I just think the falling off is just too much, and it's just not fun because of that. But if that got resolved, I think it's a really cool map. All right, let's see. I'm curious about if I get some air. So right now, I don't even know where my weapon went. Let's get this one. Okay, so if I get...
He eyes it. He buys it. Goodbye now. Thanks for coming.
Oh, I have a lot of games, Lord Garth, that I have purchased and not played. I'm sorry, the stream's not working? The stream crashed? Like that, I can't even tell he had the shield on. Like visually, it needs to pop. But I mean, it's telling that most of the weapons I go for are splash damage weapons, which really is not a good thing. But that's probably because the aim down sights is still not tuned. See, I think I did some damage there. I need some better sound payoff.
Get him some butter.
Yeah, see that death sound? Blink, blink. It needs a lot more. Payoff. Because you're apt to miss that sound. You might not even know that sound happened. Yeah, look how far away I am from the action. Right, I mean, this is crazy. Where are the bad guys?
Booyah!
Booyah. Wouldn't want to screw ya. Penguin, shut up. How am I in 5th place? The fuck is that guy doing down there? Look at that guy. Maybe that's why the AI is just down there lost in the hole. Interesting. Yeah, they need a much better sound. So, is there any melee combat? There is. I'll show you. I'm going to change the level real quick. There is a dash, slide, tackle is what they have, and that could even be. You could even take that and change it out based on character or perks or whatever. Other than the memory leak and the AI stuck, I haven't seen many bugs for pre-release. Oh yeah, this isn't even. I mean, this is so early. This isn't even close to alpha at this point. This is, like I said. I mean, this is right in. You know, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to stream it, because I mean, this is, you know, this is 2 to 3 person team. You know, all of them I believe have full-time jobs outside of this. You know, I mean, there's a lot of work to be done on a game like this, but you know, what I love about this process though is that you really can look at it and go, is that, you know, is there anything there, right? There's a lot of companies that end up spending so much money, and you know, you could early access this in about 4 months from now, and it's not going to be, you know, a complete game by any means, but you certainly would know if you've got something, you know, and if you don't, that sucks. That's disappointing. You move on, but better to know that, you know, without having spent tons of money, and go make something else and try to hit it again, because so much of this shit's got to be trial and error. I know there are people online. This one guy, whenever I say that, gets all pissy with me on NeoGAF. He's like, Jaffe, there is a formula. You're just fucking wrong. And I'm like, I'm sure there is. Maybe ChatGPT could figure it out, but I've never heard an actual human pitch the formula where I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. If there was a formula that worked, trust me, Ubisoft would be doing it. Sony wouldn't have had to potentially cancel The Last of Us multiplayer. A lot of this is, it's either there's not a formula or people are still learning the formula. Dev kit gaming, it depends on what kind of game you want to make. A beginner engine. If you want to make like text adventures and graphic novels or visual novels or whatever, that's very, you know, it depends what you're doing. If you want to make like a game, I would go with Unreal 5. What's this? I need a radar. This is bullshit. See that? I'm trying to fire. I cannot fire that weapon. Need to grow. Ah,
Thanks for coming.
I have not tried X Defiant yet, no. Some people I've talked to really like it. See, that's like the enemies. I don't know where the fuck they are. Daniel, hello, buddy. Yeah, I've been having a great week. It's been a really good week. Yes, how about you? Give me that, give me that. Oh, I bet this is a flamethrower. Oh. Chance, where are you people? Bleeding Edge, where you had a hoverboard. I never played that. The boards could have offensive attacks. When you do a pop, shove it, the board could do a quick short range 360. Yeah, I could see that. You see some Tron influence? Oh, yeah. I love the look of the level, but the falling's... yeah, I agree. The falling's too much in this level, but even more than that, it's just too fucking big. Oh. I keep hitting the wrong button for tricks. Keep hitting the shoulder button.
Trick shots are 90% mental, the other half is aim.
Leg fam, thanks, buddy. It means a lot to me. My dad got me into Twisted Metal. Oh, he passed away in 2012. That's when my dad died. So without you, I wouldn't have had good memories with my dad. Well, there was a lot of us who worked on those games, man. But I appreciate the super chat and I appreciate the story. I think in our case, a lot of times people are just right place, right time with their content, right? I mean, there are movies that I have great affection for. They probably aren't even great movies, but I remember such fond memories because they kind of hit me at a specific time. But the fact that we were even part of your happy memories with your papa, I like hearing that, man. Thank you for sharing that. All right, I'm going to do one more with the map I like the most. Okay. Bukaki says, loser, my dad's still alive. That may be the case, but he's probably not talking to you. My dad's dead, and he talks to me more than your dad talks to you. That's all I'm fucking saying. I'm literally, I had a lady, seance lady came in, and, we streamed that, actually. We had some really weird things happen that were pretty cool. All right, here we go. This is where Jaffe gets first place, and all the bullshit, just fucking haters, shut the fuck up. tired of putting up with y'all's bullshit. But I definitely think that's where some of the longevity would come from, is if you do have a nice batch of these tokens or these buffs at the bottom, that you could really, you know, fine-tune the character that you want. Like, I would love to have, like, you know, a different kind of radar, or a different kind of, you know, there's just little variants you could do that would make the firing be a meaningful addition. Give me that. Come on, come on. All right, come on, you fucker. Damn it. I'll call your fucking father right now, you son of a bitch. Come on, come on, come on. Did he say twisted metal? Someone's gonna sue somebody. Go get a grind, fucker. See that? That's that momentum killing right there. I fucking hate that shit. A map would be good, yeah. Like, I think if you had that particular pickup, even if it was something as simple as your radar does exactly what mine does, but on the third stage, you get the arrows around you, and I get like a map for 20 seconds or something. Yeah, little things like that that wouldn't take much, but I think would go a long way to really adding some nice depth to it. But like here, it's so hard for me to remember. It's like I think I have damage, but I don't know when it runs out. Like, I need that data, but it's just it's too far away from where I'm looking. Oh, the catchphrases aren't. They're just stock. They just pulled them off the asset store. Fuck you, bitch. Tell me what to do. Six plays. Fuck you.
See ya. Didn't want to be ya.
Yeah, Lutron, I'm not even sure how the auto-targeting is working right now. Gore, this is a very early game that's like very early in development called TRICKSHOT. It's not out yet.
Rejected.
Come on now. Okay, this is my last. I'm going to play one more match, and then I'm going to go to the chat. I want to take some polls. I want to ask you guys stuff for the developers. Maybe one more. And by the way, so you know, I really like playing this game. It's very addictive to go back and keep playing it. I've been meaning to point this out to Eric. Who's Eric? Never Dead. But he claimed you were woke, but you're the farthest thing from woke. I don't know who Eric is. I'm super fucking woke, but I think a lot of people are confused by what that term means. I don't even mean confused. People have different versions. They have different, what's the word? They have different definitions, right? So it's kind of like feminism. I can say I'm a feminist, and then some people think I'm talking about, you know, they're like, oh, it's third wave feminist. I'm like, dude, what? You know, so I don't know what he means, and I don't know who he is. Who's 8-Bit Eric? I don't mean that dismissively. I just mean I don't really have never heard of 8-Bit Eric. All right, come on, Jaffe. Fuck with me, bitch. I am the best game player in the world. Shut up, idiot. Oh my god, I talk to myself. I'm going crazy. I love that sound, though. That tinkle sound. It sounds really good. Eric Jello, who dated Winfried Pollard. Now you've just added a new character to the conversation that I don't know. Who the fuck is Winifred Pollard? And how do they know me enough to tell me if I'm woke or not? All right, let's fucking get some points on the board, bitch. See, that's a little false positive right there. That was not meant to be a, I didn't want a shield, I wanted radar. As long as it reads the wrong button, which sucks. Alright, here we go. Now you asked for it, you little piece of shit. Do not fuck with me, I will fucking kill you. I am the goddamn Joker of skateboarding. What? Come on, man. Just fucking skate. Shut up, man. Who's he talking to? Where are you people? Come on, man. And where did my gun go? It's bullshit. Yeah, you got him. I don't even know why you got him. You barely touched him. You have a you have a dash attack. Like that? Oh, he wasn't there.
Sit high, now say goodbye.
You say goodbye. Go on, grind, bitch. It has power-up abilities. Like I have one right now, it's a turret. I just set that turret down. These are little bombs that you can drop behind you. Fuck. All right. Hello, Joe. Okay. Let's talk. Let's see what you guys liked and didn't like. So that's TRICKSHOT. It will be ready to play at the next what's it called, Steam Next Fest in October or September, what have you. Talk to me about, now again, anybody who's just tuning in or hasn't been paying attention, this is not, like, the art is not, most of the art, most of the sound, even like Never End, I don't know if you're talking about this game, screen tearing, maybe you're not, but a lot of this stuff is pulled off the asset store. It's more about, is it fun? Is it compelling? And then obviously money starts being spent either by the team or by a publisher who funds it. But, you know, do you like it? What if you could create your own grind platform as you skate? I don't know what that means. I mean, are you saying it just drops out behind you? I mean, I think you would end up kind of just having all these random, like right now the levels should ultimately be designed so you know where the grind rails are, you know where maybe there's grind rails that give you more health. I think the minute you can start creating those on your own, it's a neat idea, but I worry that it would potentially start to become you know, meaningless in terms of the level design. You're no longer sort of hunting down the sections that you're looking to find, if that makes any sense. Not a Crocodile says, kind of a cool concept, but the game looks boring. Talk to me about that. What looks boring about it? What makes you bored? Joe says, how polished does core gameplay typically need to be at this point to sell a game like this to investors? I think it has to be fun. It's not about, I mean, depending on who you're going to, but I think especially now, given, you know, the bath that these people have been taking in free-to-play, where a lot of these games, they spend a lot of money and they don't connect. I think, honestly, if you can provide them, and this is just a gut feeling, I don't know if this is true, but I think if you can provide them with either something they love to play, or it's clear players are having a great time with, even though it's really rough around the edges, I think that's the rare thing. That's fucking special. Could clutter, yeah. Concept is cool. Junky, stiff animations is a no-no. Yeah, I know, it's not done. I know, Jizzaloo. I mean, I appreciate that. You're right. But again, what you're really looking at the moment is something where they've literally taken animations from the asset store and they've just plugged them in to do what they need to do. Bookster says I'd have to go hands-on before knowing for sure, but on concept, I prefer a system where weapons are auto pickups as opposed to pressing a button to pick up a weapon. Yeah, we had actually talked about that, where it was more Mario-like, and you didn't really know what you were going to get. But the problem with that, though, is, again, the level design, you start to learn where the really good pickups are, and given that it's a game partially about maneuvering, and you know, that knowledge and that ability to get up to that really cool rocket launcher or whatever fast is pretty important. But I hear you. We did certainly talk about that. Alex says game is fun, but will Sony accept the game in their store? I mean, right now it's for PC, but I'm assuming they'll want to bring it to console, and I don't see why they wouldn't. The skateboarding doesn't look particularly fun, says Crocodile, although I'm having a difficult time deciding how much of that is due to being early. Can you articulate how it doesn't look fun? Like, what does that mean? Cantanker says, I think it needs to move faster and tighter. There's a little too much time between events. I do like the little hand grab interactions with the scenery. I do too. I think the question there is, I don't know if you'd want it to actually, if you were playing it, move faster, but maybe it can present faster, like with, I don't know, speed lines or field of view or something, but it's plenty fast for what they're asking you to do. But there's too much time between events. That I agree with 1,000%. That is one of the the top 5 weak parts of this game. Right now, you really have a hard time, getting into the fight. And some of that's level design, some of that's radar, some of that's AI. What are observers? I want to know. Oh, we are observers. Was I having fun? Oh, fuck yeah, I was having fun. I mean, you saw how long I played it for, right? I mean, you know me. I don't, I'd play it because they're paying me to play, but they didn't ask me to stream this. I was just like, hey, I think it's really fun and looks cool. Let's put it out there and just kind of talk to people, see what they think. No, I think it's a great deal of fun. I'm biased, and I'm looking forward to, like I said, some of the members getting hands on this weekend so they can confirm or deny that. But for me, it's a really fun, just sort of pick up and play hodgepodge of mechanics, which is a lot of fun. It is possible to do slow-mo in online games in general, but in this game, Jizzaloop, the slow motion is just applied to you. Everybody else is moving normal speed. It's hard for me to shoot down. Right, okay. Will there be more tricks and ways to string together combos to earn better ammo abilities? I think that is necessary. I think the question becomes when you're playing it, that's the real tricky part, is when you're playing it, you don't really even pay much attention to, oh, this animation, and then I transition to the, it's not a skating game only. And so you have to be careful to know where that line is. So I definitely think it needs to be more robust when it comes to the tricks, but I think you have to be careful. If you start building Tony Hawk, the whole thing's going to fall apart, I think. One thing I really liked, says Crocodile, is when he wall runs, going from being on board to wall running is something I've not seen. Yeah, I think it's cool too. Cool. All right. Although it would be cool if he was skating on the wall. But anyway, Jaffe breaking the new Ubisoft Star Wars game can only be played and purchased from the Ubisoft gaming platform for PC users. Okay. I don't care. I mean, A, I'm going to play it on console, and B, so what? I've never really understood why gamers complain about, it's too many launchers. So fucking open it. Play the game, close it. Who gives a shit? Sometimes gamers just complain. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't be convenient to have everything in one launcher, sure, but welcome to the 90s. Lutron says the buffs last longer the longer you hold the tricks. Yes, but they also get better, and I think there needs to be a little more drama in that. Like I want to feel like if I held that radar trick, like I said, for example, I get a map, or I get rings around my character with arrows, right? Or if I hold the damage more, and let's say I'm doing damage A and you have damage B tokens slotted in there, your weapons, mine will fire faster and faster and faster, and if I get to the max, maybe when I kill someone, it's double points. But for you, if you put your version in that you've unlocked or purchased or however it gets gotten to you, and you get to the max of the damage, your weapon's home for like 5 seconds. Not like to the point that you can't dodge them, but it's a lot easier to get hits, basically. Leg Fam, thanks for the super chat, buddy. He says, I'm not sure if you remember, but you also serenaded me during one of your God of War streams. I don't remember, but I'll do it again. Leg Fam likes to go out to Sizzler. A lot of times he'll tell people it's because the buffet is so satisfying. But the truth is that he likes women who eat at Sizzler. That's the only woman, and women, it's plural, that's the only women that he can have sexual intercourse with. Any other woman that eats anywhere else doesn't work for Leg Fam. Those were the days. There you go. That's the new song, the new hit, #1 with a bullet from David Jaffe, the Cincinnati Jaffes. Leg Fam's Desire is what that's called. What about a final move where you get close enough to someone like in Spider-Man where you build up a meter? What about a final move? Sizzler sexual. That's right, Radical. What do you mean a final move when you get close enough? You mean like just like a dramatic finishing move? If that's what you mean, I don't think this team, I could be wrong, maybe there's an off-the-shelf solution already, but doing sort of linked animations online, it's a lot easier, honestly, if you do linked animations online, if it's a killing move. But if you're doing like a linked animation online and then the guy that you did the move to has to reset, there's all kinds of online challenges with that, unless they've solved it and it's part of Unreal 5. I know when we were trying to do it in Drawn to Death, it was a fucking nightmare. When is the next Modern Warfare practice session? It might be tonight. I don't know yet. I haven't scheduled it. Okay. The steak even higher in restaurants chooses not acceptable quality. Okay. Fellas, that's it for now. That's Gavin Games for the moment. Again, if you're interested in playing this weekend, this game that I just showed you, TRICKSHOT, with myself, I believe Spaz, I believe Brett, we're going to try to get a couple more people in there. Hit me up. I see Bookster already hit me up in the Discord. And assuming you live in the right region where we're not going to have some lag problems, we'll pull you in if you're available, because I really want to have some really valuable feedback for these guys once people have gone hands-on, because my fantasy is they go online in September, October with their early access, and people are like, okay, fuck yeah, it's janky, it's early, but it's really fucking fun, right? That's what you want. That's the magic. If you can get to that, you're fucking high as a kite. High as a kite, yeah. All right, but for now, though, I'm off. Be well, be safe, and maybe if I'm not doing anything tonight, I'll see you online with some Call of Duty. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow around 2 o'clock for another Gabbin' and Games. All right, fellas, and tomorrow's a news Gabbin' and Games, so we'll talk, what's happening in the world. Be well, everybody, and as always, ALXPLOX, thank ya, my good friend.
How dare you?
You shut your goddamn whore mouth.
We're just normal men, just innocent men. We're just normal men, just innocent men. We're just normal men, just innocent men.